This is Boris.
He's purring really loudly.
He is.
Like, big time.
If he were closer, you'd be able to hear him. You might be able to hear him anyway.
I don't know.
Who's to say?
This is a motorboat situation.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so, The Princess Bride.
Yes.
We're gonna talk about it.
We're going to talk about it. We're going to do another challenge. We're going to do a Princess Bride challenge this time.
Yes.
So why the Princess Bride, Stephanie?
Why The Princess Bride? Well, The Princess Bride came out when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing it, like, I think we rented it from the movie rental place, which, I mean, well, that's a thing that maybe you might have heard of if you're old enough. So, if you don't need the Advil for your back. Anyway, we rented a movie. It was funny, but, like, it's got, like, a... I don't know, it's kind of entered, like, the cultural unconscious. Like, there's memes, and there's GIFs, and there's, you know, people would quote it. Like, that was the thing in, like, especially around, like, college. Like, anywhere you're around a bunch of peers, it was like, inconceivable! And, like, oh, haha.
I think
like,
it was just
like
that period of time, too.
Yeah.
It was like, everyone was now hearing about it at that point.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah,
like, some people knew about it before that.
I don't know how popular it was when it first came out.
Yeah.
But I feel like it enjoyed, like, a renaissance, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
of popularity. And, like, but, long story short, other Rebecca, my other friend, one of my other Rebeccas, because I have several, actually had never seen The Princess Bride. And, in fact, many movies she has never seen. So we decided to fix that. And
It's just right here.
just have like a Princess Bride viewing party, if you will, last weekend. So that was why we watched The Princess Bride.
Mm-hmm.
But also because it's been a while since I watched it.
Yeah.
And it's
It's
good
been a
to,
while.
you know,
It's good to
tune up the
rewatch
memories of the references here and
Mhm.
there. But I mean, it's a lot of it's kind of classic, like jokes of people in our age bracket. So. It was fun to see Mandy Patinkin in like, an original role. Like,
Yeah.
now it was kind of
my
weird to see him like so young, and also like I've seen Criminal Minds and started watching Homeland, and he's in both of those, and like
It's different.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is less swordplay though.
Watching him be a Spaniard.
Well, the vengeance aspect and
Okay,
the
that's
seriousness.
consistent.
Well, not always the vengeance, but
Okay.
like the seriousness and the, I don't know, seeking something type
Sure.
of vibe. So, it was
Going
fun.
somewhere? Down. Okay.
Why?
Oh, on to laps. Okay.
Yes, it's snuggle time. Did you
Can't.
not know?
I didn't. I
No.
guess I'll stop casting on now.
Yep.
Sorry.
You do what Boris wants. So, yeah, The Princess Bride. It's based on a book. And the book is kind of a joke.
Yeah.
In the book.
Yeah.
So, what do they call it? The frame story, the something. It's like the story that
The premise
within the
is that
story.
the person who's publishing this book is actually translating it
Oh yeah.
from a different author who wrote it in some other language for
Right.
some vaguely European country.
But there is no other book. Like
There's
this
no
is-
other book.
That's the frame story, and
Yeah.
then within that, there's the story of this grandfather who's reading the book to his grandchild, but he's leaving out the boring parts,
Right.
and like kind of skipping through to like the really good stuff, which is kind of what the novel was doing as well. So in the story, it's supposed to be like, oh, it's a princess, but it's like, not a boring princess. She's
Right.
kind of cool, like it's not a kissing book, like that's one of the jokes. But the idea is that, she has a true love, and she thought he was gone, but it turns out he wasn't. Spoilers. And he comes to rescue her from the prince, the evil prince, who's gonna make her marry him. And it's just like it's goofy, but it's
just a lot
some
of
the formulaic
like
stuff.
fairy tale tropes. It's kind of
Mhm.
like Shrek 0.5.
Yes. It's like
You know?
Shrek before Shrek was
Yeah,
Shrek.
Shrek before Shrek.
Yeah.
very similar energy there of like, we're going to look at all of the fairy tale ideas and we're not going to make fun of them, but we're going to laugh along with them. Whereas I think Shrek is a little less serious. I think The Princess Bride is a little bit more serious. With
I would say so.
This is how fairy tales go, but now here's like a modern take on fairy tales.
And you also like
something like that.
I don't know, maybe it was just the age that I saw them, but like The Princess Bride, you felt like it could have any kind of ending.
Sure.
But like Shrek, you knew like something was going to work out. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. The Princess Bride could go a lot of different ways at various points.
It really could have. So and like you could have seen them like taking this in a different direction or whatever, but they didn't, or they did. You don't know. So
Boris doesn't know, that's for sure.
There's a lot of quotable lines from the movie, which I think really helped its, pop culture.
Yeah.
It's no purring cats in the movie, not a single one.
No, it's a little unfortunate. I think that really did help because it was at least I remember it getting really popular right in the very early days of YouTube.
Oh.
And so then you could have 30 seconds of Vincini's speech.
Right, like a used clip kind of deal.
Yeah. Possibly. Speculation on my part, but I don't know.
Oh.
So, how are we going to turn this into some knitting?
Well, that's inconceivable. No, it's not.
Okay.
As far as like doing a prompt,
sure,
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I thought of something.
Sure. Okay.
And I don't know how you're gonna feel about it.
All right.
We're gonna find out. So the prompt that I thought of for you, of like based on The Princess Bride and based on like what it is true love. Like you've, as a crafter,
right?
Sometimes you find something and you love it and you kind of wander away from it.
Okay.
And it's about finding your true love again. Yeah.
Okay.
Love.
True love.
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Now you don't have to roll down a hill together.
Thank you, because I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Also, it's cold and damp here. I'm not rolling down any hills.
It is cold.
Although I do have a good hill for rolling down. I'm just not going to do it. It's a particularly damp hill. Yeah.
And no rodents of unusual size.
Well, Boris takes care of those.
That's true.
And if he won't, plows well.
Yes.
So.
You do have very obliging pets.
I do. They watch out for me. Okay. So, I think for yours, there were a lot of ways that I could take this.
Yeah, there really are.
There's a lot going on, but one of the very popular sections is, at one point the princess gets kidnapped, and then some random hero starts following the kidnappers and fighting all the kidnappers and beating all the kidnappers
one by one,
and then saves the girl, and then things happen from there. Spoilers. But they don't know who he is. She doesn't know who he is. He's just the man in black. But he goes around and beats all these kidnappers in their own chosen area, and he has all of these skills. And it's just, amazing that this man could beat this expert swordsman and the giant and
the clever man.
The clever man, yeah, the Vincini, the mastermind, I guess.
We use that term loosely.
Yeah.
Go on.
But for you, I'm going to call it the Man in Black Challenge, and you have to do some sort of project that shows multiple skills.
Okay.
So you do lots of different kinds of crafting.
I do.
And you are currently knitting with your own hand spun.
Yes.
That I think you probably also dyed yourself.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look it up. Like,
Okay.
I have to look in my. I might have.
So, you know, that's the kind of thing we're talking about here. There's multiple skills that are on the table that you are in possession of, and you're going to show off some of those multiple skills.
Okay.
So there you go. These are our challenges. And it seems like Boris approves of them.
So far, so good.
So far, he's on board. So, there we go. We will continue on with our crafting. And cat hair on my nose for some reason. We'll get back to you. So, yeah.
It's for luck.
It's for luck, yeah. Well, whenever I find cat hair on me, I give it to my kid, and then it's emotional support cat hair. So, yeah.
For you or the kid?
For the kid. Yeah, it's like, here's a little bit of Boris just for you.
Oh.
He sent it with me just so I could give it to you right now, and you can have some emotional support.
I like to hand it off and say, I made you this.
Ah, okay. There you go. Mm-hmm. All right.
Oh,
so there we are. Off to the Princess Bride world.
Now we just
or something. Knitting. Now we just keep knitting. Or other crafting. Who's to say?
Could be anything.
Could be anything. So we are here. Yay!
It's Orange Day.
It is Orange Day.
I didn't know it was gonna be
everything
Orange
is just
Day,
orange.
but here we
That's
are.
fine. All right. So we are gonna do part of our project reveal. My prompt from Stephanie was to, you guys just heard it like 5 seconds ago. It's been a few weeks for us. Was to knit something. Klaus says hi. Knit something to go back to my true love of knitting or something like that.
Klaus should be a guest star in one of these episodes.
He was in the spinning inspection.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, that was just like 7 seconds.
Well,
but
he
like,
can work his way up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
He has the quality assurance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Back to our orange things.
Our orange thing. So my prompt was to go back to my true fiber love. Whatever. Something like that. True love of fiber. And so then I was thinking about it. And I was thinking about why I started knitting in the first place. So like I went to a knitting thing, did that for like, worked on my little sample piece, whatever, learned how to do things, learned how to knit, learned how to purl, learned how to rib, and then 2 weeks later went to the store and started making a scarf for someone else. So like my first project wasn't even for me, and I realized that the thing that I really like about knitting is giving things away.
Okay.
And that's kind of where it is. So what I did for my true love of knitting, true love of fiber, is I made a sweater for my brother.
That's so nice.
Here it is. This is the Honeycomb sweater by Bruce Weinstein.
Wow.
And it's
really nice, you guys.
Cascade 220 Superwash Sport, and it is Picante. So here it is. It's an all-over texture. It's not really that complicated. It looks really cool from far away. Close up. To be fair, it also looks cool close up. It's just actually pretty simple. Yeah, it's a pretty simple pattern. It looks really complicated. It's not. But yeah, so there's nothing No offense to Bruce. This is a lovely pattern. It's a lovely sweater. But there's nothing like specific about this exact sweater that is my true love. It's just more the I made something for someone else. Which is kind of yeah, that's kind of where I landed on my true love of knitting. So there you go. And that is our update for this.
Very nice.
Yay. Cool.
Yeah. I like your sweater you're wearing too.
Yes, my sweater that I'm wearing is Malabrigo, which that's a whole other story, which could have also applied because, yeah. But the pattern is called French Toast. I don't remember who it's by because I didn't plan to talk about this sweater.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'll have it listed, but yeah.
That's
French Toast, Malabrigo Rios, Sunset.
Yeah.
There's more of it up there you can't see.
Ooh,
But,
nice. Okay.
yep. So we've got Honeycomb sweater, French Toast, more orange.
I'm making a sample for the yarn store.
There you
and
go.
it's called Jasmine Top. It's a pattern from Knitting Fever that is meant to sell silky wool, which I can see why. It's a very nice pattern yarn combo. It'll be a nice, like, light summer top. For the
Looking
mannequin.
good.
For the mannequin.
For the mannequin.
For the mannequin.
What you got there, Stephanie?
Well, this was my one and only entry in the fair this past year. I entered this hand spun in the fair in 2023. Yes.
Yeah.
And then I knitted this cowl out of it for the 2024 fair.
Yes.
And that was entirely to qualify myself for a special award that's called the Second Time Around Award.
Yeah.
Where you had to have entered something in the previous year's fair and then reworked it somehow and entered that item in that year's fair. I've never managed to actually get that together within the year before.
Yeah.
So that was an exciting time for me. That was a
Yay.
victory in and of itself, but also
Yes.
I did win the Second Time Around Award.
Yay.
So that was exciting too. But this is basically, it's a cowl with a full twist in it, so it's not a Mobius technically. And the reason it has a full twist is because I thought it would really look cool to have the twist after I cast it on. And I knitted a couple of rows and realized the whole thing was twisted. So I embraced it, and here we are. And I think it does look cool.
It just it does
Like-
look cool. I like being able to see the right and wrong side of the pattern.
Yeah.
Because like the colors do slightly different things when you're looking at the knits versus looking at the purls.
Mhm. And you know, this is one of those patterns where, like, you know, I'm a knitter. I can look at it and tell which one's the right side and the wrong side, but like,
Most
it doesn't
people
look
can't.
that wrong.
No, it's just
yeah.
there's a knit side and there's a purl side.
Yeah. So this was, I believe, Finn.
Like the
Wool.
fiber?
The wool.
Okay.
Yes, Finn. But it might have been Falkland. It definitely started with an F.
Something that started with an F.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. So,
Yeah.
and it's pretty big. So,
Yeah.
because I use the whole skein, because what else am I going to do with, like, neon green hand spun?
So many things. All the things.
Neon, though.
Yeah, so.
Anyway, I also got a red ribbon for my trouble in my category, so that was cool. So that's what I made.
Yeah.
My one and only fair entry.
Your one and only fair entry, but it does show like all of, I mean, not all of your abilities, but it does show multiple abilities.
That's
you have.
true, it does.
You know, because it is, you are working with hand spun and then it is knit. So,
Yep.
Yeah, you've got all sorts of things
Yeah.
in there.
Yep.
Yep. Hooray!
So there we go. Yep.